So a woman was tackled at a Waffle House in Alabama. Cops arrested her, and she's 25-year-old Chiquitta Clemons in Saraland, Alabama. She herself is from Mobile. There is video of the incident. Here's what happened inside that Waffle House.
That's the only thing she asked me. I'm gonna go over there and get the car from them.
I heard the F-bomb and everything else.
No, because Goldie was sitting here talking crazy to me. No, but that's not what you're gonna do to me. You're not gonna grab on me like that, no. Come on, Kiki, let's just go outside. Please talk to you separately, because he just come here and just grabbed on me like for no reason. I was saying I was doing anything. Why you y'all pushing her? She not doing nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? No, y'all doing nothing. Y'all are really doing stuff to me. What are you doing?
I'm about to break your arm. That's what I'm about to do.
You about to break her arm? No, I'm trying to understand what's going on. She not, y'all ain't even talking about why she being on the rail. Y'all not even telling me what I'm doing. Like, why you talking to me? Just turn over. Kiki, turn over.
Pull your head around.
What am I doing wrong? What did I do wrong? Y'all haven't told me anything that I did wrong.
Do you want to come fix her clothes?
All right, so the reason that you see a picture blurred there is because her top came off. So they have her, they're wrestling her to the ground. For a moment there, it looked like there was gonna be some sort of chokehold or something. And now parts of her clothes are off. And I mean, I'm just picturing being on that filthy ground and having people throw me on there. And so Brett, my main question to you is the one she kept asking throughout, which is, why are you guys doing this? What did I do? What did I do? And as I first saw the headline and first saw the video, I thought, what did she do? I mean, maybe it was something really bad, in which case they gotta arrest her and they gotta get her out of there.
We have it. The reason she was tackled, the reason this escalated to the level it did was a very important reason. Clemons asked for plastic utensils while placing an order at the Waffle House on Industrial Parkway in Saraland early that morning, and was told by a female employee that plasticware costs 50 cents, according to her mother. They tried to charge her for plastic utensils. She wondered why she was being charged for plastic utensils, and I'm sure you're asking yourself the same question that I was asking myself. When do they ever charge for plastic utensils at a Waffle House or anywhere?
Yeah, never. Yeah, I've never at any restaurant. I've been to a million Waffle Houses. I enjoy their food. Never got charged for plastic utensils in my entire life.
It's crazy. And specific things that I noticed when that video was playing. One, they keep having her roll over one way and another as though they themselves have not figured out how to make this arrest.
I mean, it's obvious earlier when she's holding her arm up, she's covering up her breasts. She doesn't want to be exposed in public. And I don't know why this wasn't clear to people.
And in case it wasn't clear what was said during it, she said, "What are you doing?" And the officer says, "I'll break your arm. That's what I'm about to do."
Oh, well, no, to be fair though, she did not pay the 50-cent charge. So let's assume for a second that that's a wide scale thing that just happened and we didn't realize and we haven't caught on to the trend that if you ask for a plastic fork, they're gonna charge you 50 cents. Okay, let's grant them that for a second, which is non-existent, but let's grant that, okay? You really as a cop, you think the proper thing to do here is, hey guys, this is a minor dispute. Let's just wrap this thing up, right? And de-escalate this thing. And I know you guys are mad at each other, but let's talk it through. Or I'm gonna break your arm and I'm gonna throw you on the ground and your clothes are gonna come off, etc. Why? Because you didn't pay 50 cents because you were having a perfectly normal dispute about whether a plastic fork costs 50 cents.
Which it should not cost 50 cents, put that aside. They took her in and she wasn't booked until 2:43 in the morning or sometime in the 2 o'clock hour. And she was booked on charges of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. I just can't, when they have you on the ground and every time I see a video of someone being tackled, it's always, you're resisting. And I look at that person in that situation, I'm like, what are you supposed to do when someone's shouting at you and pulling your arms in directions they're not supposed to go?
All this over a spoon.
Yeah, so guys, does anybody out there, let's put the racial component aside for a second. Does anyone out there think that if this was Nobu in Beverly Hills and they had a dispute about whether they were gonna charge for a plastic fork, that the cops come in and take a woman that's really well dressed and is obviously very rich in Beverly Hills and throw her on the ground, her top comes off, they threaten to break her arm? Are you insane? No one thinks that, right? Because the reality is then the cops could be in a lot of trouble because that person is rich and probably has power. He might, as a cop once said on our show, he might know a judge. He might know this and he might know that. But if you don't have any power and you're poor and you're at a Waffle House, they'll threaten to break your arm and then charge you and throw you in jail.
And then at the end, I don't know if you heard that either, the last thing the officer says as he has her on the ground, he turns back and just goes, "Do you want to come fix her clothes?" To her friends. And the friend just says, "No, you messed them up, you fix them." Because it's just so crazy and it escalated so quickly.
So can we teach de-escalation to our cops? Is that possible or no? The answer is, and it's all in training. Show force, let them know you're a boss. Okay, if the guy's got a gun or it's a bank robbery, I can see why, hey, you know what, if you're forceful in your commands, that might actually be helpful. We get that. Not if you're at a Waffle House and this overwhelming dispute over plastic and 50 cents, then maybe you should train them. Oh, in a different situation, maybe you should de-escalate and not raise your voice and not throw people to the ground and rub them on the dirty ground and then throw them in prison and maybe ruin their lives. Can we teach that to our cops? If you want to get the whole Young Turks show every single day, become a member, tytnetwork.com/join. And once you do, you'll be saying,
"You know, I'm like a smart person."
Or you might say,
"I think it's weird."
Or you might say,
"Oops."
No, that won't be that one. It won't be that one. It'll be great, trust me. tytnetwork.com/join.